Lizzie.
Lizzie.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying now.
Now, did you get the part about?
No.
Okay.
Well, what we would like to get on the video is me.
Wait, can we?
In the living room. I don't understand why this thing
No,
broke while the
the,
family was here.
The Masonic emblem is from Huntsville, and it's 1860. I forgot. Anyway, it's a Masonic thing, and I can a woman in the family can wear it, but not another man unless he's my Mason.
Mm. How you doing there, Ann?
I'm all set.
You're all
I'm
set, ready to
taping.
go? Okay, well, we're interested in.
Start me off.
Yeah, well, what we'd like to know is about when Lizzie Lowe got married and what Ma Trice's view was at that time.
Ma liked him, but Papa was out of town, and so she went upstairs at the house and did not attend the service.
And you said she also.
And then when Anola married, she did the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't you say
And yet after later, she was very fond of both of the men,
Mm-hmm.
Papa and Mr. Adams both.
Mm-hmm. Very wild, huh?
But I never had connected it with Ada until you said that.
Well, I don't know, because I think I got that idea from you. I think maybe you hypothesized at one time to me that perhaps,
I
no?
just had
Go
one.
ahead and say it.
Well, what we had wondered for the video camera, I'll get back.
She just loves to be on camera.
What we had wondered was that Lizzie Lowe and Ola's older sister Ada had died in childbirth after having been told, she and her husband, not to have any more children right away. Wasn't that it?
Yes.
And so when they did go ahead and get pregnant again after little Cecil, and then she died, that perhaps that was why Ma Trice didn't want her other two daughters to get married.
And have babies.
Yep.
Of course, Mama had me in 11 months, and Aunt Ola was married about 10 years before she had.
Did she really? Do you know why that happened? For 10 years?
No.
No?
Was
I
she
mean, I know
married
that's
young? Was she married young?
Anola?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Hmm.
They were married, when I was quite small. I don't remember marrying, but I remember when they left. And I also remember them sitting on this love seat courting.
Oh.
And he'd give me a nickel to leave the room.
Yes!
See, Elizabeth was born in 1918.
No, wait, who was born in 1918?
Their daughter
Oh,
was born.
Anola's daughter,
So
okay.
I was 14 years older.
Right.
Practically.
And that's the only daughter that, or the only child
Only
Anola
child
had.
they ever had.
Hmm. Well, did you and Pa go on a honeymoon? Did
Yeah,
you
we did.
travel anywhere?
We went to Fayetteville and Fort Smith.
Oh,
went
Fort
to-
Smith. Gerber has a plant Fort Smith now.
Didn't you go to Cersei also?
Well, we spent the first night in Cersei, but that was on the way.
Right.
And went to Bella Vista and all up through
Uh-huh.
Fayetteville,
The
Springdale,
Ozarks, through the Ozarks.
and the Ozarks.
Well, I bet it was hot.
Well, it was cooler up there. But,
Oh.
It was hot here at the wedding.
but we went to Alma and Clarence's and changed clothes before we went out of town and put on lightweight clothes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did Lizzie Lowe go on a honeymoon? Did she actually
went
go
down.
someplace?
She went on a very peculiar, I think, honeymoon. She went with Papa to Alabama to meet his folks for the first time,
Oh, how to relax.
which would be a very taxing sort of thing to me.
Yeah. When was it that Ma and Pa Trice's house burned with all the wedding gifts? Was that while they were on their honeymoon or before?
No, Mama and Papa had just gotten back and they were living at the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
It was down on Pruitt Street. And the woman that worked for them of course everybody had stoves, didn't have
Mhm.
furnaces that. Anyway, lighted a fire in her stove in her bedroom. And what they always thought, she thought she didn't, of course, put it out, but I mean, it got too hot next to the wall and
Oh,
set
yeah.
the paper on fire, and the upstairs all burned and of course ruined the
Yes.
downstairs. It was right after Mama and Papa. I I don't remember whether it was the 4th of January or I've got that in my mind, something. But anyway, the first week in January.
Remember when you had a check burn?
No, I don't remember that.
Well, they had gotten married in December, didn't they?
They got married the 22nd of December.
Something about that high that I can set this on so I don't have this kind of bouncing.
And some of Mama's silver was melted, and that's what that fine like pattern that your mother had. She had 6 spoons of that and some serving pieces or something, and they were all, that one spoon was only one. The other things they brought back from Alabama on their honeymoon, and they were at the hotel.
Oh, that's good.
The silver that your mother has, that.
Well, that's a lovely purse, Mom. That's just lovely.
Oh, I was gonna let you take that, back that,
Okay, well, Ann just wants something to brace that on.
oh,
This is the puzzle.
Whoa, man, put my eye out, lady. Did you turn that off?
No,
Great. It's like yelling into it.
I can.
Lady.
Is that the way to talk to your mother?
I can edit this.
what are you taking in?
What am I doing?
Just waiting for the next.
I'm just waiting in case.
Let's see, what else should we talk about that we were talking about
Your
before?
check to Manning?
Because what happens is then we get home and we start talking about stories, and then we get into a disagreement because none of us can remember exactly how the story went. So now we have it.
What else
So
did we
now we
talk
can look
about?
back and
Well,
say,
we
that's
talked
exactly what
about,
Gran said.
See, Mama and Papa went together 5 years, were engaged 5 years before they married.
Oh.
Because he couldn't marry as long as his mother was living, because he had to send her money every month.
Ah. Now, how old was your mother when they got married?
24.
24. Well, isn't that about how old you were when you got married also? And that's how old Mom was. Wow. How old were you?
I was 23.
She was 23, I was 24.
Oh, okay. You
See,
were
I
old.
wanted to
I
finish.
thought you were 23 and you weren't 24 for a few days.
Oh, that's right, I was 23.
Mhm.
I was 24 like
And you
3
were
days later.
22. I turned 23 on my honeymoon.
I turned 24 on my honeymoon.
And Papa was 12 years older. Mom already told me that. So she was 24. He was 36.
You'll have to show this to Bill.
And
How did they meet? If he was so much older.
He worked for the railroad and came in here as a special agent, and then he moved to Harnesville, and he came back and forth, and he was an eligible young bachelor, and went with that Uncle Bill and all her brothers and all of them, and met her, and evidently they fell in love pretty soon.
Puppy for him, a young dog for him over, and I never did get to hunt.
But his mother died in August, and I can't figure whether she died, what the thing is, whether they
Oh, I
married
don't
then in
remember this.
December or whether they waited a year.
oh, so you don't know which August it was that she died.
Well, yeah.
I could find out because it's on the marker in Huntsville, but
It must have been
forgot.
a fire somewhere.
Yeah.
but it seemed to me that they married in December after she died in August.
Well, if they had waited 4 years, that would kind of make sense, but who knows? Now, you said that your mother was sick throughout the pregnancy.
The whole time.
Was she nauseated or what was it?
She said just the smell of a newspaper, the print, would just set her off.
Well, then she must not have gained much weight.
I guess she didn't.
And then when you
But
were born, they thought you were kind of puny?
Well, I was so blonde. I mean,
You
Fair
were,
skinned.
you were small.
yeah, and I was small. Well, I don't know,
Were you small when you were born? Were you a little baby or
I'd have to look at the thing in there. It's in there someplace.
What, your birth certificate?
how
No.
much she weighed?
Thing of where, when I was born and how much I weighed,
Oh, all
and my
right.
name, and
Mhm.
when I did this and that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was in one of those boxes we had the pictures, but I guess it
No, I
wasn't.
didn't
Well,
see
there
it.
were some things in the bottom of that box we.
Right.
Anyway, I was an average size,
Mm-hmm.
and my hair was dark when I was born. then after it came out, you know, like it does,
Mhm.
why I was blind.
Mhm.
I used to have two little pieces of hair with a ribbon around them. One was that black, and one was blonde.
Really?
That Mama had cut off and put in a little
Same.
box. But I thought, well, who cares what? So I threw it away one time.
Oh, gosh. Mhm. Let's see, what else do we
But from the time I can remember, I was blind. And all of a sudden, in my 30s, I realized I was turning brown.
Mhm. That was because Mom and
And then you
Uncle
went through all the different phases of
Yeah.
orange and.
Purple. The rinses. You don't remember the rinses?
Mm-mm.
Well, look
One
through some
time
of the
Gran-
old colored
One
pictures
time
we
Gran
have.
came to see us
Oh,
at
no,
North
that
Kansas
was
City.
that wasn't a rinse. That was, she was gonna, what do you call it, but not tip my hair, but,
Frosted.
frosted. She'd, the beauty parlor, and she'd had her own, and it was, real light brown, and she had it blonde.
Mhm.
And I never have known why, and I never did it. But anyway, it was a beautiful silver.
Oh.
And I looked at myself, and I could not believe I was me. And it took, I was so glad when it
Yeah.
finally grew out. And I've never had it done that
Mhm.
way again.
Mhm.
They do them all the time out there. My beauty parlor has hers done.
Mhm.
I asked her one day, I said, Judy, were you blind the rest of it? She said, no, I never was, but I just, you know.
Mhm. Mhm.
But no, Hazel and I started in doing that. We put golden glint on our hair to bring out the highlights. And my hair had enough red naturally in the blonde that anything I put on it
Would just.
brought it
Mhm.
out.
That explains that orange phase.
Well, now, while we're talking about things like that, didn't, Lizzie Lowe's brothers, you know, they had the Indian blood in them, didn't they not shave? They
No,
had-
it was Ma's brothers.
Ma's
Ma's
brothers that
brothers,
didn't have to shave.
They did not shave, they didn't have any
'Cause
hair on
Ma-
their faces or nothing.
That's Indian?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ma Trice was the one that was 1/4 Choctaw Indian. And
Now,
so
her brothers, none of them shaved
Yeah.
or had any
See,
hair.
Native Americans generally don't have facial hair.
I didn't realize that.
It may not be all of them, but I know that there's.
Yeah, that's,
the
Most
most
of
of
major-
them do not.
Most of them do not have
Right,
facial
You see
hair.
the paintings and pictures of old
Mhm.
Indians and all, they don't have beards,
Mhm.
they're clean faces.
Mhm.
But now, so, Lizzie Lowe's brothers did have to
Yes,
shave?
Uncle Bill was like Harlan and Bill Trice.
Darker and,
He was, he was really dark, and he had big brown eyes.
but most of them had high cheekbones,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they all looked more like Ma than they did Pa,
Mhm.
the Trices.
Mhm.
Look, I don't know any of them. I don't think any of the children looked like, took after Pa particularly.
Like pot rice. Well, the picture of Ada,
In more ways than one. He
Ada
had
had a
the
longer
nicest
face.
disposition,
Yeah.
you know. He never, I don't ever fussed at any of us or doing anything, even when Mama and them were harassing him to death.
Well, that might be something interesting to put on the tape, is that, after Ma Trice died, well, you might as well be on the tape, Gran, it's in the records.
Yeah.
Why, Pa Trice started dating Jenny, and I believe her name was Smith. Jenny Smith, and Aunt Ola and Lizzie Lowe just had a fit. They didn't want their dad dating this woman because she didn't have the best reputation. And they told him to stop dating her, and he showed he wasn't gonna be, we were talking earlier about, you know, fellows not wanting us to tell them what to do. He didn't want his daughters telling him what to do, so he married Jenny Smith.
I said, I could think back on it, and if Manning and Jim Lowe were little and I had allowed them, that I would have butted in and talked to Pa myself and told him not to pay attention to them,
Mm.
you know, and I think I could have influenced him. Because see, I was named for Ma, and
Mhm.
he was real fond of me, you know,
Mhm.
and,
So
they
you
just
did-
egged it on, that's all.
So you think you could have talked him into just going ahead and dating her the way he
Just go
wanted,
and
but
date her,
not
but
marrying her to spite
but-
them?
And just not pay attention to Mama and Ola.
But Jenny was only, what, a couple years older than Lizzie Lowe?
Uh-huh.
She was a lot younger than Pa Trice. And so when he died, of course, Jenny got the house, and that's the house
And one of the insurance policies,
that we took the
and
pictures.
because it was made out to Ms. H.S. in Ms. H.S. Trice instead of, if it'd been Margaret Ann, then would have gotten it,
Right.
but it was Ms. H.S.
And that was
So
probably
we
just an
learned,
oversight. That was an oversight on his
Well, he
part.
probably
Yeah, it was
never even
oversight.
looked, he probably
never
never even
changed
looked at
it.
It was an over.
See, you shouldn't change your name when you get married. Then no matter who you marry and how many times, there's no question who you are.
Unless you're the woman who was married for the second time.
Right,
There's-
'cause you can make out like I'll
Uh-huh.
name it.
And of course, another, not my legal name, but all the Wilbourn women went by their first names because Ms. Wilbourn said, I'm the Ms. Wilbourn. So we just naturally said Alma Wilbourn or Ernie Wilbourn or, you know, whatever.
Oh, I remember you telling us that before.
So I still say Margaret Wilbourn just because of,
Well, it's a lot clearer than to say Mrs. Wilburn or, you know, I think to go
Well,
ahead and to
I-
have your own individuality by having your, at least your own first name, you know.
as I say, everything I have is nearly, I guess everything is Margaret Lowe Wilbourn.
Of course, one of the things now with Lizzie Lowe and with Betty May and Aunt Ola and all of them, they went by their first names, like they were, like their husbands called them Elizabeth or
Yeah.
whatever, but they called their husbands Mr. Lowe and Mr. Cardwell.
I never heard Mama call Papa anything but Mr. Lowe. And I'm sure she did.
Sure.
She was bound to have.
Right.
You know, you couldn't live with anybody 25 years and not, I don't know why she did just call him Jim, you know, or Manny or whatever she wanted to call him. But she always, and Betty May was the same way with Frank.
Seems sort
In
of.
fact, I didn't know what his name was until Jim Lowe started calling him Frank.
Really?
Well, I knew it was Frank Cardwell, I mean that, but I mean, I never thought about, well, if we said Mr. Cardwell,
Yeah.
you know, and we said Miss Cardwell, and Betty May got Jim Lowe to say Betty May,
'Cause I call
and
her
he
Betty.
picked it up real quick.
Yeah.
And so everybody then started calling her Betty May instead of, you know, and we called him Frank, you know.
I don't remember him. He must have died before I was.
He
Oh,
did.
he died in,
He died when Jim Lowe and I were young,
Okay.
because
well-
we didn't go to the funeral.
no, it was a very,
But Jim Lowe and I were playing in the second bedroom, and you all were
and
all
I
over
stayed
there.
over there with Frank. I bathed and fed him during the service. I didn't go to the service. I stayed in that back room and took care
That
of
was
Frank.
Martha's friend, Martha's little boy.
See, he was just, that was in December after he was born in July. And, now, Johnny was big enough to, I mean, he played back there, but they were trying to keep him on schedule, get him on schedule, because he didn't want to sleep at night. And he didn't want to take a bath, he didn't want to, so,
Didn't wanna, basically.
and so, I stayed in the two back rooms with the boys and bathed and fed him and.
The two back rooms of this house or the other house?
They were
Their house, okay.
No, Martha came back here, with the boys. Frank, John was in London, and he was at headquarters. He helped draft the plans for D-Day.
That was, of course, during World War II.
Wow.
And anyway, Martha didn't know to what extent he was gonna be involved or anything. But anyway, she came back here in, let's see, Frank, I guess about the first of August, because Frank's birthday's the 22nd of July, and he was just about 2 weeks old, barely 2 weeks old. And Frank died then, the 21st of December. So she had all that, and he did not have an itemized list of where his things were. And she and Mr. Cathy, the lawyer, they had to go to all the lengths to check lock boxes. They had to go to the courthouse. It was just the
most difficult.
because he
thing.
had quite a lot.
Yeah, but they just had to
But
find
it was,
Oh.
she worked so hard, and with those two little boys and not knowing,
what was going on with her own
Um,
husband. Oh my goodness.
Well,
partially.
now, was that the year coming around to D-Day? She came here in August and D-Day's in
No,
June.
I say, she had, she was here at she knew he was in the headquarter offices in Washington, in London.
Right, but did she, you
No,
said
she
she
didn't
came
know
here,
when she came here what he was,
but you said, no, you said she came in August.
yeah.
Was it the August prior to D-Day, or was it the
It was-
August after
Oh,
D-Day
it was
over?
before.
So it was the August prior to D-Day.
John had just, he went overseas, was shipped overseas, and they came here, you see. They were in Spartanburg.
So it would have been around, 43, 44.
43, I think it
43.
was. Anyway, see, John was born the 5th of July one year, and Frank the 22nd the next year.
The 22nd of July?
No,
Oh,
they're both,
just 12 months apart.
it was a big surprise to them.
Yeah.
Frank was, but he was a joy of their life. It was worth it. Not that John was, but,
Mhm.
Frank really looked after Betty Mae.
Mhm.
I mean, Martha, especially after John died. He worked for the telephone